Hello students, welcome back to my class. In the previous session, we discussed about safety. In this session, we are going to discuss about first aid. So let's start with this session. First aid. So do you know what is meant by first aid? In general, we can say that first aid is what we do while we are waiting for the help to come. That is why it is called first aid, because it is what we do first. It is what we do first, and what we do can be very important. For example, if your friend has met on accident or someone collapses in front of you, so the person will help him or her until others get there. The first until they get there, they are the first aider. So that is why first aid is all about using our common sense in many ways. So that will help him or her safe without doing any harm. So always remember that. Always remember this. So we should try to avoid accidents by following safety rules. However, if an accident still occurs, we should not get panic, because the injured people must be given first aid immediately. They need our help. So we do not need to get panic. Okay, so the most important thing to remember about first aid is that we have to keep ourselves safe. So you can call an adult for help. The most common thing is to keep ourselves safe and use common sense. So this is all about first aid in general. So first aid is an immediate help. Okay, it's an immediate help to given an injured person. First aid is defined as the first or immediate help given to an injured people before they are taken to the hospital. So actually, it is given for minor cuts or wounds that might occur while playing. Now let's see how to give first aid for burns. Okay, so first aid for burns. So in the case of minor burns, means smaller burns, cold water or ice may be applied on the burn area immediately. And the burn area should be held under running water for some time. So these types of burns can be treated at home. We can also say that if the chemical burn or if any chemical burn happens, then use a cloth or brush to wash any chemical on the skin. Then wash the burnt area with lots of cold water. So ice and water is very much helpful for these types of burns. Also we can use an antiseptic cream or paste of baking soda and water also should be applied on the burn area after we have removed the hands under the running water. And if the burn is severe or if the burn is serious, a doctor must be called immediately. And always remember that do not prick the blister. Blister means it's a small pocket of fluid which is present in the upper layer of the skin. So we should not try to prick any blister if it is forms while accidents. So if the burn is severe. So I hope you are clear with this. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is first aid for fractures. So how to give first aid for fractures? So first we should know that what is meant by fractures. So actually fracture is a crack or break in a bone. So and in the case of a fracture, it must be ensured that the fractured part is tied with a straight object. Okay, so as we know that bones are living things. So if they are broken, they will leak out blood and they can cause swelling around the injury. Okay, so we have to take care that it must be tied with a straight object. Now what else can happen if a fracture? The harder children play, the harder they fall. And this is the fact. The broken bones and fractures are very common in childhood. Most of the fractures occur in the upper part of the body. That is the wrist, the forearm, and it can also be occur in the elbow. For example, if the fracture is in hand, what we have to do? Let's discuss about it. If the fracture is in hand, we can use a cloth sling to prevent movement. So always remember that if the fracture is in hand, a cloth sling can be used and the patient must be taken to the hospital immediately. Okay. So because the worst thing for the broken bone is to move it, and this hurts the patient a lot. So the patient must be taken to the hospital immediately. I hope you all clear with this topic. So let's move on to the next topic. That is first aid for animal bites. So how to give first aid for animal bites? The most common animal bites are caused by pets such as cats and dogs, even other animals. You know, animal bites can cause a deadly disease called rabies. Okay, so what do you mean by rabies? Animal bites can cause a deadly disease called rabies, and the risk of rabies is high if bitten by stray animals or the street animals, because which are not trained, sometimes which are not hygienic. So animals can be great fun, but it is important to know that how to be safe when we are with them. So if we are scratched or bitten by an animal, first you tell an adult immediately. Rule in the great outdoor is don't touch or go near an animal or wild animal. Okay, even it is domestic or wild animal. So always remember that what we have to do in case of an animal bite. Let's discuss about it. In case of an animal bite, wash the wound with the soap and water. Okay, first in the case of an animal bite, first you wash the wound with the soap and water, and you can use an antiseptic cream to apply on the wound, and the wound should be covered with a clean bandage. And always remember that the patient should be taken to the doctor immediately. So save your life from animals or wild animals. Save your life from wild animals. So do keep in mind some of the points. You always remember that prevention is better than cure. So I hope you all that enjoy this session and keep all the important points in mind about safety and first aid. So we will meet in the next session with a new lesson. Till then, keep enjoying, keep learning. Thank you.